walks down the street, it's a street in a strange world. He is surrounded by the sound. Cattle in the marketplace, scatterings in orphanages. He looks around, he sees angels in the architecture, spinning in infinity. He says, amen, hallelujah. If you'll be my bodyguard, I can be your long lost pal. And I can call you Betty, and Betty, when you call me, you can call me out, call me out.
It's better now.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hey.
Cute.
Hey. Descending into the basement.
Oh boy. How is everybody doing? You guys ready to get going for the Barefoot Movement Variety Show tonight? This is going to be a great show. Hope you guys are pumped as we are.
I'm pumped.
It's kind of a banjo extravaganza of a night. We have two veteran banjo players from Bluegrass and beyond, and it's been a really fun thing reading about these guys. I mean, I've always known who they were, but then to like dig a little deeper into their history has been really enjoyable. So we'll get more into that. We have a new tune twist for you tonight. We have a new video premiere for a song that is going to be exclusively on our vinyl. That should be arriving within the week, or maybe 2 weeks should be arriving, and then we're going to sign them all and get them all out. So if you haven't pre-ordered your copy yet, you should definitely go ahead and do that. So we're going to premiere a video for Sin City a little later on, and plenty more fun stuff on the way. How is everyone out there in Barefoot land? Hello to everyone in the chat so far. Hey Michigan,
hello.
Hey Florida. All right.
Brian D. Abbey's in Missouri this week.
Brian D. Abbey, Missouri.
Brian D.
Abbey.
Watching from a campground. That's nice.
Yeah. They just got a big old camper. They're crushing
Congratulations.
From a campground?
Yeah, I'm glad they have
they
good
just picked
service.
it up. Yeah.
So coming up at 8:30, we'll have Alison Brown. For those of you who might be new to her music, she is, like I said, an absolute veteran. She is the founder of Compass Records here in Nashville, and just a wonderful banjo player, Grammy winner, multiple IBMA award winner, just a totally boss lady. We love her, and looking forward to that. And then coming up at 9:15, we have Greg Cahill from Special Consensus, who are an absolutely just classic band, been around since 1975. So that's amazing. I mean, to have had a band that long, and just to have done that your whole life, it's super inspiring. So gonna hear from Greg, and he is a fellow Midwesterner for our
Oh yeah, an Illinois person.
that's
too,
right.
Don't you know?
Katie Blomars has got some Illinois company in the house tonight, so you guys stay tuned for all of that. All right, well, Tommy and I can go ahead and play a song for you. You will hand me Mr. Martin over there.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Mr. Chucky.
Mr. Martin
You
isn't
just
here.
hand me.
I actually
But
saw.
Mr. Taylor's here.
I saw this. Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. Martin's in the shop. I actually saw this joke today, or earlier this week on Bluegrass Facebook, and it was like this man and woman arguing, and she said something about their child, and and talking about how he had too many guitars or something, and something about their son, and the guy says, "Don't you bring pre-war Martin into this." I thought that was pretty humorous.
That's amazing.
Well, I was reading earlier today about Alison Brown and how she has a Harvard degree in I was putting her two degrees together into one word there. History and literature. I was going to say hiterature.
Wow, that's kind of dark.
And I love history so much. And just the word history kept popping into my head. So then I thought of this song actually called Wonderful World that you would know from Mr. Sam Cooke. And if you know me at all, you know that I love old 60s music. So here is Wonderful World. One, two, three, four. I don't know nothing about nothing.
Don't know nothing about nothing.
Why are they muted? I can't hear them. Where'd they go? Yo, we miss you.
Where did they go? Huh.
There
Where
we
are
can't.
we?
There they are. Here we
There
go.
they're there.
I heard 'em.
Hey!
Oh, right here.
Hey! We're back.
All right, now applaud for me again, please. No, I'm just kidding.
Hang
Shower
on,
me
I
with
might,
bullets.
now we got Alex back.
Wait, you lost me too?
Yeah, but you're back.
It's kind of stormy. I'm not sure if we're gonna.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
crazy. I was
interesting
washing
issues.
my dishes at in my kitchen sink and looking outside. It was like perfectly sunny, beautiful day, and then I heard like this big crack of thunder, and I was like, "Where's it coming from?" It's like perfectly fine right where I am. And I asked him, who was in the back of our house. I was like, "Is it dark back there?" And he's like, "Yeah, there's a pretty ominous cloud." But it was crazy to see that juxtaposition of super sunny thunderstorm rolling in.
You know,
That's my anecdote for the day.
I hate the old Southern saying was when it's sunny outside but it's thunderstorm, and they'd say the devil's beating his wife. I don't know what that
Devil's
means,
beating his
but that's a
wife,
thing.
yeah.
I've heard it my whole
Never
life.
Never heard that.
That's horrible.
I certainly heard that growing
That's
up.
real
yeah.
nice.
See, it's a Southern
Real
thing.
Yeah.
All right,
We're
well,
both like, nope. Never heard it.
we got our first donation of the night. Rocco Keys donated $50.
All
Said,
right.
Granville County
you.
checking in.
Love y'all, Bonnie and Randy.
Oh my gosh.
That was sweet.
What are you married?
Thank you so
Bonnie
much,
and
Bonnie
Randy.
and Randy. Thank
Thank you
you.
guys.
You guys are
Nice.
awesome.
Thank you.
That was cute.
Yeah, and hello
All right.
to everyone in the chat. Gosh, so many comments already. I'm so sorry if we don't see them all. But here's
Someone
here's one
asked-
question. Yeah, you are
Yeah.
singing in the snow in the opening credits. Where were you at? We were actually riding the gondola up the mountain in Telluride.
Oh, right. I have to grab a
Colorado.
sip of water real quick. One second.
We were singing "Let It Snow" in the gondola, and Tommy was filming. That's why he's not in the shot. But
Very fast. Very fast.
Katie
Good
and
work.
I actually went sledding
Oh my gosh.
down that hill. I should
That was
I
so
should
fun.
share that video because I mean,
There's a couple.
yeah, you didn't think that it was that steep, but once you got going, you were just like, oh, as you're going down.
And when you mean,
Yeah, like, wait,
you
how do I
just
stop?
literally like, if you stood up and then you put the sled down and you sat down, you immediately were going. So you had to be ready, like as soon as you sat down. I won't say
Nice.
there wasn't some expletives and
some
stuff.
colorful language in that beautiful
It was
white
like,
snow.
"Wah!" That was
Olivia
very
Margot
poetic.
says, "Did you guys play in Mendocino?" We did. I remember that show. That was an incredible location.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah,
Comes
we did.
Beautimus.
They filmed Forever Young there. I love that movie. Anyway, how about I'll get off on that if we're not careful. Alex Connerly looks like he's got something cooking over there in Hermitage,
I
Tennessee.
do. I'm not sure. That's right. Out in Herman.
Cooking
We're
the stew.
We're cooking real good here. I was looking up something really random to play, and I found one.
Just did a random song. You don't even know it. Just gonna play it.
Yeah. Here's the only song that was ever credited as Lennon/McCartney.
Oh, like opposite?
I'm just
really?
kidding.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. It's literally the. I don't really know that much about the history of this song. I do know that supposedly they wrote it,
Stoned.
or maybe Paul McCartney produced it or something, and Mary Hopkin did a version or something. Anyway, but I heard Paul McCartney's version, and actually I've heard Mary Hopkins' version as well, but I really like the Paul McCartney kind of way he played it. He kind of strummed on acoustic, so I was like, oh, I want to pick around on that. So the song's called Goodbye. Let's see. Yeah, okay. All right. Please don't wake me up too late. Tomorrow comes and I will not be late. Late today, when it becomes tomorrow, I will leave and go away. Goodbye, 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 my love, goodbye. Songs that linger on my lips excite me now and linger on my mind. Leave your flowers at my door, I'll leave them for the one who waits behind. Goodbye, 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 my love, goodbye. Goodbye, 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 my love, goodbye. Ooh, 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 It ends something like that. I don't know.
That's exactly the ending.
Not sure exactly.
You should have saved that for the end of the show. Goodbye, goodbye.
Oh,
goodbye.
for the goodbye? Oh, yeah, you're right.
We can do it again. Just
Lovely,
make
yes.
him do it again
We'll
at
make
the end.
that
Oh, yeah.
the outro song. You just can't ever get enough Beatles, so thank you for that, Mr.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Alex Connerly.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So this week we started a contest, and it's really fun. You guys, we're gonna share in the chat a link to it, and if you if you aren't able to look at the chat right now because you're watching from your TV or whatever, you can find it on our Facebook and stuff. So this is a really fun contest where all you have to do is click this link, and it's totally free to enter, and you can be entered in. There's going to be 8 winners, and the grand prize is a whole bunch of different things. It's like a signed copy of the test pressing of the vinyl of Rise and Fly, and there were only 4 of those printed, so we're giving one of those away. CD, sticker, poster, and a hat. And
postcard,
a postcard, a personalized postcard,
CD,
said CD, and then Barefoot Movement Amazon gift card, just an Amazon gift card.
An Amazon gift card that you should spend on the Barefoot Movement.
You can use it to buy all the rest of our music. But yeah, $50 Amazon gift card. So that's the top prize, and then the other ones are like the record CDs and stuff. So all
they're one of a kind. You know, they'll never be printed again. So I'm valuing them at like $500,000 each. You know, so it's really a big prize.
Maybe we should keep them then.
Yeah. So anyway, check that link out and go enter to the contest, and you may be a winner.
Maybe.
Okay, you guys, we've got Big Larry and the other one.
Babo.
Babo, that's right.
Babo.
Named after our favorite Korean barbecue place in Nashville.
Crazy good restaurant. in Nashville.
Beautiful.
Oh, man.
Yeah, well, we have a video for our second song. So for the first one, I thought I'd do something weird.
Yes.
Nice.
So we're gonna do
Insert 2 basses.
insert 2 upright basses playing a Thelonious Monk tune entitled "I Mean You."
Wow, all right. Cool.
Where else on the
That was
internet
awesome.
did you see that? Those really are two beautiful instruments.
It was like a double bass solo.
Old Big Larry and
Nice.
Bobo. Well, we had a
Ready
request.
to clap for him.
Why is Alex going in and out?
I don't know.
Doggone it. We had a request
Did you
for
come
some Johnny Cash, and we got a little bit of time before we bring Alison Krauss on. So we could
Alison
do.
Brown.
Bless it. Allison's in my head. So sorry. Alison Brown actually used to play with Alison Krauss. I've been reading. I know everything about Alison Brown now, y'all. So it's all just floating around in there. Anyway, I know two Johnny Cash songs, the two most obvious ones to know. I could do Ring of Fire or Folsom
Wait,
Prison.
they can hear us now.
Oh yes, bass players.
Let's stop
All
bass
right.
players.
Shower us with applause. Thank you.
Nobody ever claps for the bass solos.
Hey, Alex, yeah, you're going in and out.
Okay. So you want to
I think what happens, it sounds better now, but it looks like it was just a little too much level. And maybe that would make it go out. But it seems fine now. Maybe it got fixed. I don't know.
All right, here's for Richie Ford,
Okay.
a little Johnny Cash, eh? I hear the train coming, it's rolling round the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, time keeps dragging on. But the train keeps rolling on down to San Antonio. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, "Hun, always be a good girl, don't ever play with guns." But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry. I bet those rich folks eating in their fancy dining car, probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars. Well, I knew I had it coming. No, I can be free. But those people keep moving. That's what tortures me. Well, if they freed me from this prison, if that railroad train was mine, I swear I'd move it on a little farther down the line, far from Folsom Prison. That's where I want to stay. And I let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away.
Exactly.
Funny, actually, just this last week or so,
Cash.
I went to Johnny Cash's grave. He's buried about 5 minutes from my house. Johnny and June right next to each other. And I didn't know that to begin with. I went to go see Mother Maybell's grave. I didn't know that Johnny was right next to him. And I was like, oh, he's here too. A bunch of the Carter family are there. So anyway, Hendersonville, Tennessee, folks. All right, we're going to be right back with Alison Brown. wonderful banjo player. You guys are in for a real treat. We're going to cut to our first video of the night. Alex played a little Beatles tune earlier, so Katie and I actually did a Beatles song as well. If you guys have been tuning in, you know we've been enjoying doing these female duos, and this is a song I always wanted to sing with a lady. And it's just really fun. It's a really like simple one of those Beatles tunes that's just classic and just happy. And so here is just Love fun. Me Do. And we'll be right back.
Here we go.
Love me do, whoa, love me do, love me do, you know I love you, I'll always be true, so please, love me do. Love me do, oh, love me do. Love me do. You know I love you, I'll always be true, so please, love me do, oh, love me do, yeah, love me do, oh, love me do, yeah, love me do.
That was Love Me Do, and here we are back on the Barefoot Movement Variety Show with the one, the only Alison Brown, everybody. Hello, Alison.
Yeah.
Coming to us from somewhere in Nashville tonight, is that right?
Yep, the other side of the 40 from where you guys are, I guess.
Have you been making it out of the house much these past couple months, or just staying busy at home?
I'm mostly staying around the house. I've been, out a couple of times to the studio to do a few things, but yeah, mostly just sitting around the kitchen table working.
That's a great place to do some work.
It is. Seems to be where I spend most of my time.
Nice.
Thanks.
Well, it was such a wonderful thing today to read through your history and just all the amazing things that you've done. Of course, I've always been familiar with you and your music, but a big blessing of the show has just been to dig a little deeper into people's history, and it's seriously, truly inspiring for a lady and for anybody to see just the incredible career that you've had, all the things that you've forged and been able to do. Starting with a Harvard degree. I don't think we have too many Harvard-educated folks in bluegrass for way back when. Maybe, I could be wrong, but in two things that I really love, history and literature. So how did that turn into a career in bluegrass music?
Gradually.
Yeah.
I've played banjo for a really long time, since I was a kid, but never really, when I was coming up in the 70s, there weren't really a lot of role models for people who were instrumentalists kind of making a career out of playing music. So it really wasn't something that I thought you could really even try to do for a living. So when I was in college, I was a liberal arts major, and then I went to business school after that and got an MBA and spent a couple of years working in investment banking. And then just decided to take some time off and work on my own music for just like a really brief hiatus with, every intention of going back and getting a real job. And it was right at the end of that time that I met Alison Krauss, and she was looking for banjo players. So that kind of moved me onto the musical path where I've managed to kind of stay ever since.
Yeah, that's amazing. I just recently, randomly went down to the Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, Alabama. So when I read today that your original music has been selected as a wake-up call for 3 different NASA shuttle flights, I was like, whoa, because I've just lately been into space, and that is so cool. How does one get your music up in space?
Well, that's a really good question. There's a lot of serendipity, really. It turned out that one of the first female astronauts, whose name is Marcia Ivins, had a copy of Pre-Sequel, which is a record I did with Stuart Duncan when we were still in high school. And somehow she managed to have a copy of this record, so she was aware of me and sent me a letter on Johnson Space Center letterhead, which, I was totally such a Trekkie in high school. And still am. I was like really over the top in high school. And so this letter really spoke to my inner Vulcan. And I was just so blown away that she would write to me. So I, immediately reached out to her, and we became friends. And she's traveled with the band and stuff when we went on the road. And so when she's flown, I've written a couple of tunes for her that NASA used as wake-up music. The first one, I think, was called The View from Here. And then the second one was called My Favorite Marcia. And then there have been a couple of...
Love that.
Wow, that's incredible. I wonder would she say it's stranger going into space or being on tour with a band, so...
She would say it's stranger to be on tour with a band, because she would always, astronauts have their day mapped out literally by the minute. And, obviously you guys know we don't live that way at all. And so... we'd be out on the road with her and have her the first thing she did with us was the Shetland Island Folk Festival up in the North Sea, really northern Scotland, closer to Norway than Scotland, those islands up there. And I just remember sitting in a smoky, jam session at 4:00 in the morning, and she said, "This is the latest I've ever stayed up in my life."
Oh my gosh.
Thinks that what we do is really out there compared to what astronauts do, which is bizarre. She says anyone can be an astronaut, but it's absolutely not true.
No way.
I could not do it.
No way.
After I went to Huntsville, we came home and we're all inspired, so we watched Apollo 13, and I'm just like, nope, never.
Yeah. Well, it's really interesting. Through her, we've met a bunch of other astronauts, and they're just so disciplined and they're so trained. Their whole way of thinking is what's the next thing that's going to kill me? They're taught to problem solve 3 or 4 steps ahead. It's just so different than life in a van with a band. That's just so chill compared to that. And all you got to do really is get to sound check on time, do the show.
Yeah, it's definitely more dealing with things right that moment when they happen, but you deal with that one. I guess you're not so much thinking about the next one, because the most important thing is just being on time. That's the only thing you have to do.
That's true. And even in that, there's usually enough wiggle room in that whole thing. So I don't know. But it is interesting. They're programmed to think in such a different way. But it's like we like to say at Compass Records, there's no such thing as a music business emergency. And it's totally different for astronauts, because there's many kinds of emergencies. That's what they train to do.
All right.
So it's a different mindset.
Well, speaking of Compass, over 20 years ago now that you guys founded Compass Records, what inspired you to go into the business side of the industry?
Well, I had this MBA and a few years of investment banking under my belt. And I loved playing, but I'd spent about 3 years or 4 years just doing the touring thing. And as you know, it's like you spend 22 hours a day for that 2 hours you're on stage. And so I love playing. It's one of my favorite things to do, but it wasn't completely fulfilling just to do that. So when I met Gary West, who's now my husband and co-founder of Compass, we were on tour with Michelle Shocked, and we were doing this world tour with this folk pop artist who was big enough at the time that we were on tour buses with crew and catering and all that stuff. So we had a lot of time to sit around and think about what else we might do, once this tour ended. And we landed on the idea of a label because we thought as artists we'd be in a unique position to be able to nurture other artists. We were dealing with labels, like I was signed to Vanguard at the time, and the guys that I was dealing with on my music were business people. They didn't really know what it was like to be on the road and what it was like to be in the studio, and I really found that kind of disconnecting and disconcerting, and it didn't really make sense. So, and this was really before a lot of artists, DIY labels started. So anyway, that was our idea that, artists and musicians should be running a record company. So knowing nothing at all, we just wrote a business plan and started. And we're celebrating 25 years this year.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful story.
Well, thank you. It's proof you can do anything sitting at your kitchen table, I think.
We're all fans of the kitchen table. All right. Well, we have a video that Alison sent us. Recognize some folks in that band. Do you want to give us a little promo for the video we're about to show?
Sure. This tune is one that I wrote. It's the title track of our most recent record. It's called The Song of the Banjo. And we were out touring out west last winter. So we shot this video partially it was weird because it was a tour of playing these museums of making music. Like you guys have probably played the Museum of Making Music in Carlsbad, California. That was one of the venues. And the other was the Instrument Music Museum in Phoenix or near Phoenix. So we shot the video in those two locations. And we really just kind of wanted to capture like the current live band, which is unique. I think we've got an amazing flute player named John Ragusa from New York City. And Chris Walters playing piano, and Jordan Perlson's playing drums, and Gary West is playing bass. We just wanted to show what the band was sounding like now, so that's what we did.
All right, here we go. We'll be right back. More with Alison Brown. how was that, you guys? People in the chat enjoying it. One person called it grassical.
Oh, I love that.
I was listening to it while we were talking. I loved the whole vibe of, the flute going and the whole, everything kind of dancing under that vibe. It was great. Sorry, my 2-year-old also just woke up and it's a little. She never went to sleep.
Oh, sorry about that.
But,
she's determined to be a star, I think. Well, speaking of kids, I had a question for Alison that might relate more personally to me. I remember talking to a friend of ours, James Nash, who's from the Waybacks, and we have met at Merlefest a whole bunch, and I've done some singing with them, about Tommy and I wanting to have a family and how we were going to handle that on the road, being in the same band. And he brought you up, and he said, I don't know if he was on tour with you or just opening for you guys somewhere. And he said, I can remember, backstage it being like kids and toys everywhere. And he just said it can be done. And so I guess seeing that you are a mom of 2 and have toured with your husband and are also in business together, how did you guys make that work on the road? I mean, it sounds like a dream come true to me, but also very, very daunting.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is a journey. So you can totally do whatever it is that you want to do. You can totally tour with kids. It's easier not to, but it's super fun to do it too. A lot of times the music kind of takes a back seat because just like getting to the gig and getting the kids set up in the green room so that you can go in there and do the show on the other side of the green room, is a process in itself. But it can totally be done. We took both our kids out of the country. Was their first trip. Our daughter went to Switzerland and I guess Scotland and someplace else when she was 3 weeks old. And our son was 6 weeks old, and we did a tour in Italy. And so you're exhausted and it's hard, and you have to, just have all the toys and back then it was DVDs to make sure they were occupied. We would just hire different babysitters at the venue, and it always worked. We always had like lovely people that the venue recommended that would sit and watch the kids while we were on stage. And we only had to go to a Starbucks in an emergency once and find a barista that looked nice and say, hey, what are you doing when you get off work?
Oh my gosh.
We never had to wear the baby in a papoose on stage. We thought that would happen, but it never did.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a great thing. It's harder. It's harder to focus just on the music, but then you end up having these great experiences with your kids that they remember. And like both of our kids have grown up doing festivals, which like for all of us, that's the best part of the year, and that's part of their life, being a part of that community. And I think it's made them maybe more empathetic people, and certainly, broader thinkers, and definitely well-traveled. So I say go for it. It's totally doable.
You hear that?
Baby fever.
Tommy's in it.
Really, and it's over, and it's over in a blink. Because, like I said, it's all a journey. It's like whatever stage you're in, like even with the 2-year-old, like who won't go to sleep or whatever, she'll be, 3 on to the next thing before you can say it. It's like, they're all flowing through stages, so you don't get stuck in some miserable place forever. It's not like this pandemic where it's like,
right.
It's forever.
2020.
So, yeah, I think it's a great thing. We're fortunate to play a kind of music that's family oriented. So, if you get to the gig and there's no babysitter there, there's someone who's going to help you, and you don't have to worry about it. It's going to work out.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, that is encouraging. So we'd love to get you to play a song for us since you got this banjo in your lap. May as well.
Yeah.
Might as well, right?
This is my Deering Julia Bell banjo, and this is an instrument that when I was working on, I guess it was the Song of the Banjo record, I just kept using my original John Hartford, like I have his prototype Deering low banjo, and I kept bringing it in the studio and using it for stuff because I love having the low-pitched sound. But I was afraid to tour with it, so I got a Deering low banjo, and I thought that it could be improved on. So I ended up collaborating with the Deerings to create this instrument, which I don't know if y'all can see, but Katie Hogue, John's daughter, let me look through John's artwork archives, and I picked out a bunch of his illustrations because he was an artist. So the inlays on the neck of this are all John's art.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And where John's art, it's where Greg Deering zoomed in on the actual Julia Bell Swain, the riverboat, and it's in dry dock, and he zoomed in on it, and he picked up a couple other design ideas from looking at the boat. So this instrument's really a tribute to John, and it's super fun to play. You can ask Greg about his, because he has one too now. So here's a tune that, when I was growing up, it was one of those big hits on the radio, and now it's one that you hear if you shop at Publix, which we could all dream about doing again someday soon.
To buy a banjo now.
Beautiful. Yeah.
I
love
Yeah.
that melody, and I think that melody is so great. I think you just made it even better. It's
Yeah.
really great, beautiful.
It's one, when you like listen to Orleans' version of it, it really kind of fits like the need for the banjo's role, So
Yeah.
I remember trying to figure it out many, many years ago, but I finally figured out how to put all the pieces together. So it's a fun one to play.
Yeah, I love those little runs up the top too.
That was nice.
Thanks.
It's just that was so satisfying.
Yeah, if I think people outside of bluegrass, when they think banjo, they think Beverly Hillbillies, immediately. And when you play and other of these phenomenal banjo players, I'm like, it's so much more than that. It is such an versatile instrument. You can just do so much with it. I mean, you're a whole band right there by yourself, playing the melody, the rhythm, the it's just I was really a fascinating instrument.
Yeah, well, I agree. It's like because of Clear Channel Radio and I guess network television, bluegrass music and banjo kind of became equated, in the 20th century. But the banjo has such a deep history in our country and even in other countries. But the kind of music that people were playing in the 1800s, classic banjo and minstrel banjo, there's all kinds of styles. And it's just that people think about because of the Beverly Hillbillies and Foggy Mountain Breakdown, people think that the banjo is just for high-speed car chases and bank robberies, but really
It's not.
melodic things too. And that's what I like to try to find.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you so much, you guys. This is a legend here, Miss Alison Brown. I hope you all have enjoyed it. We're gonna cut to a video now from Merlefest 2018. This is the last one we've got from that show. This was our first song of the day, early in the morning. We played at 9:45 in the morning, so we thought it'd be kind of funny to play that one first. So anyway, thank you once again to Alison Brown. You guys can find her online and just learn all about her.
Well, thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
All right.
2, 3. Well, it's early in the morning. Said when I rise. It's early in the morning. Said when I rise. Well, it's early in the morning. Said when I rise. Got the misery pretty bird in my right side. Well, in my right side. In my right side. I got the misery pretty mama lolly bird in my right side. Well, it's early in the morning. Said when I rise. Yes, early in the morning. Said when I rise. Well, whosoever told you that he told you, told a dirty lie. Got the eagle on the dollar. Gonna rise and fly. You're gonna rise and fly. You're gonna rise and fly. Got the eagle on the dollar. You're gonna rise and fly. Well, you're gonna rise and fly. You're gonna rise and fly. Got the eagle on the dollar. You're gonna rise and fly. Well, in my right side. In my right side. Got the misery pretty mama lolly bird in my right side. Well, Lordy Rose, Lordy Rose. Well, Lordy baby. Well, Lordy sugar, Miss Lord, Lordy, Lordy Rose, Lordy Rose. Well, Lordy baby. Well, Lordy sugar, Miss Lord Gallowell.
Thank you. Good morning, Melfest.
Who wants to know some facts and trivia about the members of the Barefoot Movement? The only folks who know are familiar. Find it all out on Barefoot Trivia. Yeah,
You saw the video, folks. It's time
Yeah.
once again for Barefoot
For stuff and things.
trivia. So, sooner it's hard to come up with these questions, and a lot of them you're gonna have a 25% chance of getting right, because it's like, which one of us did this? And so all you got to do is guess which one of us did this thing that we're about to say. So
And can we put a little ground rule in that, like,
moms can't answer.
well, no family, but I was gonna say people don't type all our names really quick. Let's do one answer per person. Let's try to stick to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you guess wrong,
you're disqualified.
Tommy's always the fair one.
Sticker.
Level-headed. Yes, so if you want a Barefoot Movement sticker and you are able to type in your answer here on our chat, then get your type-in fingers ready. So, out of the four of us, which did not study some form of music as their college degree or minor? Which of us did not study music in college? You gonna play your Jeopardy song?
It's playing.
Oh, it's a plan. Oh wow!
Oh, is it?
First one got it right. Is she? Do we know? Okay. Oh my gosh! Oh, there's so many. Nobody's guessed wrong yet.
Wow. How does everybody know this?
I feel like we must have.
Well, see,
I feel
that's
like
the thing.
these-
It's like, were they paying attention? They must have been.
Yeah. They must have been.
So we
That's
had several folks answer Alex right there at the top. First one being Abby Harris got it right. So I minored in bluegrass, old time, and country music. Tommy studied like recording engineering with a focus in music, right?
No, I study music with a focus in recording engineering.
Switch it around. And Katie just was teaching.
Yeah, I got my degree in music education with an emphasis in jazz.
And Alex just
Emphasis.
did so much
Emphasis on
playing
the
outside
genre.
of school. He felt like he, was like, I got this.
Alex got the actual real world experience that we
Exactly.
all need.
Exactly.
Yeah, he didn't need that.
Well, I also got, so after I finished at Ole Miss, I went to a recording school for recording engineering and production that was, and it was called the Recording Workshop in Chillicothe, Ohio.
I guess technically.
And I
you
did
could-
that, and I got it was like 311 hours, and then I moved to Atlanta and got certification in Pro Tools as a Pro Tools operator of music.
So you
but,
got the technical stuff.
So I got
is
technical,
helping us
but
all now.
no, yeah,
You got the goods.
but yeah, music is. I feel like I'm still learning that, still trying to figure
No
that one
kidding.
out.
All right.
Aren't
Well,
we
thanks
all?
for playing, and we will get
Good
you
job,
Abby Harris
Abby.
if you like. You can send us an address, and we will get you your sticker.
Yeah.
So I'll
got
play a
you.
tune now. This was actually the first song Tommy and I ever co-wrote.
Abby
And-
Harris, nice.
I went back and this is like one of the first songs I ever wrote at all, and it was definitely the first one we ever co-wrote back when Tommy was the guitarist and we were a duo known as Noah and Me. That name, right? Awesome.
I came up with
yeah.
that.
He came up with that.
Anyone?
Did you
Anyone?
really?
I did.
Did
I'm
you
the
forget
me.
your name or something?
I'm the
Noah
me.
and me.
Pretty much.
I have to agree with Christopher Chop that there's nothing to do in Chillicothe besides. That's cool. There was nothing.
Oh,
Right,
Abby
continue.
is saying second place can take it. So
Are you officially
she's
giving up
bequeathing
your?
her sticker.
Okay, so who got second place? Cynthia Fry. Is that
All right.
official?
I
Cynthia
guess so. That's what she's
Fry.
saying.
All right.
Cynthia
Nice.
Fry.
Send us your address in an email of sorts.
Yeah.
We might have her somewhere. But anyway, yeah, so I pulled out the recording we made of this song, As Noah and Me, and I was listening to it and I'm like, wow, this is never going to see the light of day because I think the instrument was out of tune and everything. And then I'm thinking back, like at one point I went to California on like a music camp trip and actually gave this demo to the head of A&R at Warner Brothers.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
I
Can't
did.
take that back.
Oh God, I know, and I'm just like, wow. No wonder
He
she
still
didn't
listens
call.
to it every night. Yeah.
Anyway, it's fun because this is what I was feeling. I think I wrote this right before I went off to college, so this is called "Awake in a Dream."
Well, let me announce some donations because we're a little behind on that. So Richard donated $20. Thank you so much, Richard.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Richard.
And Kent Blackmer
So much more, please.
donated $25. Thank you so much, Kent.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay.
I like this much better than the cowbell.
Okay.
Some generic blues riffs.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, guys, for the donations.
Thank
so,
you. Ow.
Careful.
Stub my toe.
See if I remember how to
Awaken
play
a
this.
Dream. You wrote it on guitar. I'll take one last look at everything that I have ever known. Close the door, no more turning back. The road is my new home. Somehow I hear voices calling my name from far away. Now I know there's no reason for me to feel like I should stay. Searching for freedom while I ride. I whisper hello but scream goodbye. Don't know where I'm going, I just drive. I'll wake from a dream once I arrive. Oh, how restless as I hold this wheel so tightly in my grasp, so ready to reach my destination. Yet the road seems endless tonight, but all of me knows beginnings are frequent, ends are often, but journeys are few. Tell myself to relax, enjoy the sound of the wind that struggles to hold me back. The sun is like fire in the sky. Yeah, I whisper hello but scream goodbye. And I just needed a reason why. Awaken a dream till I
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
There it was.
Wow.
Thanks, everyone.
And there you have it, folks.
Thanks, guys.
That was the beginning. We're gonna cut now to a special video production by Miss K9 and Jay Kim over there. So tell us all
J.
about
Kim.
what we have next.
Tell us about it. Tell us about it.
Well, I was, quarantine. What do you do here? Justin is, I'm sure I've said this before, but an amazing, actually bassist, obviously you see, and guitar player, obviously on the stream, and piano player, but also engineer, mixer, producer, all of the above, and
I'm a very novice keys player. Don't I'm just gonna say that I'm learning.
But
definitely not a keys player.
It's been fun to create and see him blossom even more, and just like as a musician too. It's really great to feel comfortable with an engineer, and in general just feeling supported and like it's a conversation instead of nothing or too much. And so we've just been creating, and since I've been in the Barefoot movement, like I was just thinking the other day about the very first time we went into the studio back a handful of years ago, and it was my very first ever vocal recording session ever in my entire life, and how nervous I was, and our producers at that session had no idea that it was my first time. And I think when he heard that, he was kind of like, oh. But I've learned a lot over the years, and quarantine has helped me to push me out of my comfort zone of being a singer on these streams and stuff, because I was never that comfortable. So we've just been creating tracks and doing covers and kind of showcasing what he's capable of creating, and also getting to be involved in that's been really fun. So my dad actually requested this tune, so this is Carole King's "It's Too Late."
It's too late to play it. I'm sorry. Get it?
Hey.
Hey.
Stayed in bed all morning just to pass the time. There's something wrong here, there can be no denying. One of us is changing, or maybe we've just stopped trying. And it's too late, baby, now it's too late. Though we really did try to make it. Something inside is died, and I can't hide it, I just can't fake it. Oh, no, no, no. It used to be so easy living here with you. You were light and breezy, and I knew just what to do. Now you look so unhappy, and I feel like a fool. And it's too late, baby, now it's too late. Though we really did try to make it. Something inside is died, and I can't hide it, I just can't fake it. Oh, no, no. There'll be good times again for me and you, but we just can't stay together. Don't you feel it too? Still, I'm glad for what we had and how I once loved you. But it's too late, baby, now it's too late. Though we really did try to make it. Something inside is died, and I can't hide it, I just can't fake it. It's too late, baby, it's too late now, darling, it's too late.
All right.
It's too late. And that was Katie Blomars and Justin Kimball there. Kent Blackner says, your father can keep the suggestions coming, Katie. Nice work.
All right.
So
What
we
are you
had a
doing over here?
donation.
What are you doing awake?
She's like,
What are
hey.
you doing awake?
Let me announce the donation. Cha Cape donated $20. It said, first time watching, tuned in to see Alison and Greg, a special guest.
Aww.
Thank you so much for the donation. Because it's your first time watching, you get some cowbell.
All right.
Such different reactions. You know, the other day I sent Noah this post of somebody who amplified a cowbell. They like put like a 1/4-inch plug-in with a volume knob on it, and I was like,
Nice.
this is what Tommy needs for the stream.
Hey, Gloria. Hi, Gloria Dawson back there. I know she
What do you
can't hear
see
me.
over there?
That's the future star right there.
All right. I know if she can't sing, it's just gonna be some kind of weird anomaly, right?
Yeah. All right. So, trying to think of what I would sing, and I thought of this song that I started. It kind of started. I was playing on the drums one day, and my friend Lucas Lee was playing piano, and I guess she's just here for a while. He was playing piano, and we started on this little groove, and it was just kind of like He just kind of started like that. He was playing piano, so and I was just mumbling some words, you know, and so I took it and I translated it to guitar, and I started throwing a sort of a little chorus down, and then I was like, I kind of want to, take it to my friend Dave Bahanish, and we wrote this, all these lyrics to this song, and it's kind of a laid back kind of a groove, and I usually don't have I'll do it with my headphones on. Maybe they hear okay with that. Don't pull on that. Don't pull on that. Oh. Okay. You gonna be okay? She's gonna. What is she doing? Okay. We're gonna see how this goes with a 2-year-old behind me. Take your sweet time, like a soft breeze in summertime, underneath the top pines, just watching clouds roll by. Thank you. An egg, yeah. Sipping on some sweet tea. I wouldn't want to eat that egg. That's a plastic one. Sipping on some sweet wine, talking about whatever is on your mind. I could spend forever and one night, till the grapes fall from the vine, just taking your sweet time, while your eyes are patiently saying that you'll be mine. So it's alright, yeah, I'll go on waiting, just keep on taking your sweet time. I got my headphones. Taking your sweet time. Taking your sweet time, just like honey dripping to the ground. Catch it just before it hits the floors, baby. Nothing more precious, Lord, than taking your sweet time. You can eat it, yeah. While your eyes are patiently saying that you'll be mine. So it's alright, yeah, I'll go on waiting, just keep on taking your sweet time. Taking your sweet time. Taking your sweet time.
like a sun setting round supper time, taking your sweet time, and you're slow going down, taking your sweet time. Taking your sweet time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Wait, say that again. Taking your what? Say it in the mic. Taking your what? She won't say it now.
She already stole the show.
I
was really
love
challenging.
that. That was a fun song.
Usually it's... All right. That was a mess, man. It was really challenging.
I love that. That was
Here she comes back. She's coming back.
Oh boy.
She had a little dance party behind you there for a second.
Yeah.
So we're gonna cut to a video right now, and then we will be right back with Greg Cahill of Special Consensus. This video we recorded, you guys, like 2 years ago, and we kept meaning to release it, kept meaning to release the song, but just one thing or another kept preventing us from doing it. So we've just had this video forever, and now that we are putting out the Rise and Fly vinyl with the 2 bonus tracks on the back, which are Looking Out My Back Door and Sin City, we finally have an opportunity to share this video. So if you like this recording, be sure to get in your pre-order for the vinyl, because there's only going to be 300 of those printed. So here is our cover of Sin City, and we'll be releasing this video next week, so you guys can check it out on our YouTube channel after the stream. Hope you enjoy it. We'll be right back with Greg Cahill.
This old town is filled with sin. It will swallow you in if you've got some money to burn. Take it home right away. You got 3 years to pay, but Satan is waiting his turn. This old earthquake's gonna leave me in the poorhouse. It seems like this whole town's insane. On the 31st floor, a gold-plated door won't keep out the Lord's burning rain. Well, the scientists say it will all wash away, but we don't believe anymore. But we've got our recruits and our green mohair suits, so please show your ID at the door. This old earthquake's gonna leave me in the poorhouse. It seems like this whole town's insane. On the 31st floor, a gold-plated door won't keep out the Lord's burning rain. Well, a friend came around, tried to clean up this town. His ideas made some people mad. Oh, but he trusted weep out the Lord's burning rain.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. And say hello to Greg Cahill, everyone. Hey. So, how are you feeling tonight, sir? Thank you for being with us.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you, I'm great because I've been watching the show and enjoying every minute.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I'm a happy guy.
Thank you.
Oh. Well, I think the last time we saw you was out at Wintergrass. Is that right? Were you guys there earlier this year? That's right?
We were, yeah. And I think we saw you at Frankfurt, too.
Indeed.
Yeah, it was Wintergrass, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Did we know then? Oh.
Right.
I know. It was setting up to be a pretty cool year, and then, I mean, it's still cool. This part's cool, right? You know, we never would have done this before. I keep trying to tell myself that. It has been a pretty, I'm sorry, go ahead. Did I cut
No, I
you
was
off?
just saying, this is great, your show, and a great idea, and great to do it, and little did we know that Wintergrass, I think we did maybe 3 more shows after that, and that was it for us, end of February.
Well, after 45 years in this band, I guess you've probably never seen anything quite like this, huh? You thought you'd seen everything, I bet.
Well, back in 1830. No, and I couldn't have, I mean, you couldn't write a better Twilight Zone episode or Star Trek from another planet. I mean, it's just...
Oh, yeah. That's weird.
It's very weird. We're all living through special times, that's for sure.
It certainly, but you know, I'm serious when I say that, you know, I do feel very lucky to have, you know, we just kind of came up with this show out of, you know, necessity and just out of not sure what else we can do, so why don't we try this? But the gifts that it has brought to us is to get to know these artists that we've, you know, seen and heard at the festivals for years, just a little bit better, a little bit more personally. And you and Alison both have such inspiring careers. It's hard to look at a resume or just a list of and know that for somebody that started a band in 1975 and just kept doing it. I mean, what that knowing how hard it is to stay in the business. I mean, and we've been doing this for what, I don't know, at least 10 years, you know, that it's just pretty amazing to me. Any secrets for your longevity?
Oh, boy. Well, I never thought I'd be doing it more than 10 years. I'll say that, you know, and I think a lot of it is sort of what Alison was saying, you know, about just you have your dream and you follow the path with heart and as long as you stay open-minded. I mean, I never thought I'd be doing this for a living, and especially not for that many years. You know, I just was taking a break for a little while, but then I think, as you all know, once that chip is inside of you, that bug, and it's hard to walk away from them, you know, and then so you just start doing what you need to do and figuring out how to make it keep happening and keep it together. And I've been very fortunate because I've had some really, really wonderful people come through, you know, good people as well as good musicians. So I think that's a key as well, you know, when you have people come into a situation where you're almost going to spend more time with them than you are with your family. It's real important that you get the right folks as well as good musicians. And I've been very lucky, and people, the audience, the bluegrass audience, has been so good to us. You know, I could have never done it, and my wife is, she does it, puts up with, you know, as you know, you're in and out of town all the time. It's a crazy life, but it's been a really, I just feel blessed. I'm very lucky.
Yeah. Well, reading about you guys more and seeing how many things that you've had, I mean, like 20 recordings. I mean, is there ever a point where, you know, you finished like record 19 or whatever, and you're like, you know, I've done enough records. I think I'm good. Or you always planning for the next one?
Well, I think after, especially now, we've been on with Alison on Compass Records with Alison and Gary for 10 years now, and been very fortunate that a couple of them were nominated for Grammys. And I think once that comes out, it's not like, well, now I think I'm done. It's more like, gosh, what can we do now to do something? How can we top that? What are we going to do? But again, we've been fortunate to have Alison as our producer, and it's made a tremendous difference too. She's fabulous and helps keep us on track. And Compass has been very good to us and let us keep pretty much releasing biannually and coming up with new things and a lot of brainstorming. And it's just it's just a very fulfilling process, I would say.
Absolutely, and they sound like such a great team. And I did forget to mention that kind of, we're having a little Compass Records night with Alison being the founder, and then you with Special Consensus being on the label. They have a lot of other wonderful artists like Molly Tuttle and Mike Ferris, people that we've run into over the years, and so just a wonderful roster. And as she said, as an artist herself, I can imagine that they are a very supportive label to have behind you.
Oh yeah, and they they really know the business, and they know the heart and soul of what it means to try to really make a good recording, and really survive in the world of music. So it's great. Well,
and you guys collaborate a good bit, and we have a video that you shared that was recently released. And I had a question: was this recorded? I would imagine during quarantine time, because you guys are green screened in front of some very notable landmarks. Katie's gonna love this, being from outside of Chicago.
Sure enough, yeah. This, I think, we just put that together within the last 3 weeks, actually.
Wow.
So we had a videographer come in, and I did go to all the sites and play in front of all those sites, okay? And then everybody had the green screen, and the wonderful Jody, the wonderful videographer for Compass, kind of popped everybody in at the right place at the right time, and just put it together for us, really. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it was kind of Alison's idea, well, of course it's a Frank Sinatra song, and so. And even when we were recording it, we were thinking about his phrasing. Alison said, "Hey, let's listen to just the vocal phrasing and how he did that." And so we did. We couldn't get everything in. The videographer Tim and I went all through Chicago. We had a few other sites. There was one they did do an honorary Frank Sinatra Avenue in one of his favorite spots downtown. So we didn't get the time to have that flashed, but we made a lot of the the significant sites, including the one that Alison really wanted us to hit, which was, it had to be a hot dog stand, because she loves Chicago hot dogs.
Oh man, I like her even more now. I am such a hot dog freak. I just
really?
Hot dogs are fun.
Oh man,
they're just fun.
Although I will admit that I've had, I like them all different ways, but I had some Chicago people tell me that I needed to get out of their establishment because I wanted ketchup on it.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yes.
Katie's like, yeah.
Yeah. You just have to discreetly find the ketchup and not say anything.
You never speak of it. You just do it.
Right.
Well, we'll talk more about the record Chicago Barn Dance that this recording is on when we come back. But here is the video featuring Alison Brown, our earlier guest, and we'll be right back. All right. Who wants a hot dog?
I do.
Oh, well, we were
Nice picking in
talking.
that song.
Say what?
Just saying, a lot of nice picking in that song.
For sure. We were talking just before we came back on about hot dogs and other things, but Katie and Greg have some mutual friends. Must be a small world up there. And
Oh yeah, up in the Midwest,
Yeah.
outside of Chicago. Oh yeah. Yeah,
So-
my dad plays in a big band, and the guitar player used to play in Special Consensus. I don't know when,
Yeah.
but
That was in the 90s, actually.
nice,
Yeah.
very cool.
And he
That's
played
awesome.
mandolin and dobro with Keith Bauman.
That's
Yeah.
so cool. Love it.
So I guess most people don't really associate Chicago and Illinois, well, particularly Chicago, with bluegrass music. But you did this record, Chicago Barn Dance, and I was reading, and I worked in radio, and so I was mildly familiar with the WLS National Barn Dance that was a precursor to the Grand Ole Opry, which is kind of the inspiration for the record. So and it came out this year, is that right?
It did, yeah. And in fact, the official release date got pushed a little bit because we were wondering how long the pandemic was going to be around and when it was going to be around a while. So it was actually officially released. Street date was in May, but it was available for sale at the end of March. So it's real new, yeah. And we did it just, because so many people say bluegrass in Chicago, but so many of the, like Bill Monroe and Charlie Monroe used to dance on the show, and then they were a singing duet, and I was lucky to know some of the people from the barn dance. Jethro Burns, I lived 6 blocks from him for about 18 years, and we were good friends and played shows together. And the fiddler, Johnny Frigo, the great jazz violinist, was from the barn dance. And then I think the cool thing is the singing cowboy, Bob Atcher, when the show went down, he became the mayor of Schaumburg. I don't know if you knew that, Katie, but Bob Atcher was the first mayor of Schaumburg, which is
That's awesome.
a big suburb. Yeah.
Yeah,
He was from
giant mall there.
yeah. So we just wanted to, show that there are definite roots, and all the first generation bluegrass bands played in Chicago all along. And the Osborne Brothers. I mean, everybody came through Chicago usually once a year, so it was good.
Yeah. Well, we sure enjoy it when we come up there, and especially now that we have an Illinois in our midst. I've been reading all the other things you've just done so many things over the years. Tell us about the traditional American music program. We've done some school stuff, but it seems like you guys really kind of started taking bluegrass to kids in schools and have done that. Do you guys still do those things?
Occasionally, on occasion, yeah. We did it a lot. This was in the early 80s. And just a teacher friend of mine asked if I would come to the class and play the banjo, because a lot of kids didn't really hadn't seen a banjo, especially a 5-string. And so I did it, and one thing led to another. Another teacher said, well, how about coming to my class, and so on and so forth. And actually back around then, Chris Jones was in the band. And so we'd go, if we were in town and had the day off, we'd go and do it. And so I went to the library. That was before internet, before Google, and just made up a little few pages, for teachers. We started promoting it. Got on some of the touring rosters for arts councils in several states, and I think, and we would go. The biggest thing we would do is if we had a show in town, like at an arts center or a theater that was real connected, in the town. We'd tell them, hey, for a few more dollars, we could go to a school in the afternoon, and just introduce the kids to these instruments and to this music. And so that's how it really started. And we did it many, many years, I think. I mean, there was a time when we would, I know, for example, we spent probably a week down in Owensboro right when the organization IBMA was still based there, and I think we were doing like 4 schools a day, 5 days a week. We did 20 schools. So
wow.
By a few years ago, somebody was writing an article about it, and we tried to do the calculation, and I think we literally have been in front of like 1 million kids, and in other countries too, South America and England and Ireland, and we just did it everywhere. So it was, and we still do it sometimes. It's now they don't have the budgets for that anymore, really, and it's difficult, but it's fun. It's good to just see the kids, and now also with the internet, kids have more access to this kind of music, to any kind of music. And back then, though, there really wasn't as much access, so it was a fun thing because kids would just wow. At the end, they'd all have to write a little thing, and wow, my favorite instrument was the guitar because I want to be a guitar player. And wow, the banjo's loud. And, wow.
The banjo's loud. Yeah.
Yeah. It was cool.
Nice. Well, let's hear some loud banjo. How about it?
Yeah, make it loud.
Loud banjo. All right. How about I'm gonna just play a tune that was on one of our Compass records on our last one, Rivers and Roads. We played a tune called Squirrel Hunters, which was a favorite of John Hartford's, and we were kind of tipping the hat to him on that recording. So I'll play a little bit of that.
All right.
Nice.
What a treat. We had a couple of comments. Someone said, our friend Kent Blackmore said, loved Special C at Wheatland Festival last September.
Oh, right, yeah.
Remember festivals?
Yeah.
And then our friend Bob said that he heard Greg and Special C back in '75 and regularly since. So
All right.
got some
Right.
way
Wow.
back, fans from way back here.
The Wayback Machine there, yeah.
Well, you've done. I know this is probably a terrible question, but just for our chat here and for folks watching, of all your records, do you have a favorite one? Do you have one that you say if you're gonna like come to Special C, like what's the first record they should start with?
Ooh.
All of them.
It's almost difficult because some have themes more than others. I guess I really like the current album, the Chicago Barn Dance, just because there's a lot of history to it, and a lot of the material on that was either written by Chicago songwriters or people who lived here and played the music and what have you, So I would probably say that, and if not, maybe the Rivers and Roads, the one before that has, I think between those two, there's a good variety of material, a lot of different stuff, and I think you all know it's difficult to just say oh,
Yeah.
what's one? I can't ever think of my favorite song or tune. And then
No,
and
especially of
next
other
is-
people's music for sure.
Yeah. So and then.
Well, it's
and
good
then
that I guess that's a good sign that your most recent thing is like, you know, feels good. It's like you keep making things you like, and that you're enjoying. Yeah. I did want to ask about the John Denver tribute record. I really like him, and I mean, he was just a wonderful songwriter. Why did you guys pick John Denver to do a tribute album for?
Well, you know, I never thought I would ever do a tribute album. And the album that we had done before that, well, two albums before that, was nominated for our first Grammy nomination. So I was just trying to think of, gosh, what can we do? What's different? And I had a friend who had put the bug in my ear years earlier and said, you know, so many people who like folk music and who like rock music and who like bluegrass music, they all know John Denver, and you'd probably do really well if you did a John Denver recording. And you know, all of us guys in the band at the time were big fans of John Denver's songwriting, especially, you know, I mean, and John Denver fans, but he wrote so many great songs. It was really difficult to come up with 10 songs.
Only.
Had such a catalog, you know, it's like, oh my God. So that's really where it came from. And then as we got into it, and working with Alison, you know, and it was right around the anniversary, 50-year anniversary of Circle Being Broken recording. So it was a nice time to just bring in a bunch of friends and a bunch of folks and just kind of do a mini version of that, you know. And again, Alison helped us develop more of that concept. So we had all kinds of friends and guests come in, and just made it a real fun project.
Sure. Well, I heard some of it today on Spotify and some of the new record, and just so much fun. And we're so glad to have you on. Thank you so much. And hopefully we'll be seeing you at Frankfurt next year.
I hope so. We'll keep our finger picked up. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks a million for having me. Really, I really appreciate it. It was great to visit with you all. Look forward to seeing you down that road.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. As
sure.
we
Thank
do.
you.
Thank you.
We're going to cut to our tune twist for the night. A song requested by our friend Duke, and we've been working on it for a couple weeks. Hope you guys enjoy it. Here is a tune twist of Brown Eyed Girl by Van Morrison. And thanks once again, Greg. We'll see you down the dusty trail.
On the trail.
Hey, where did we go? Days when the rain came down in a hollow, playing a new game, laughing and running, hey, skipping and jumping in the misty morning fog with a horse a thumping, and you, brown-eyed girl, you are my brown-eyed girl. Whatever happened Tuesday and so slow, going down the old mile with a transistor radio, standing in the sunlight laughing behind a rainbow's wall, slipping and sliding all along the waterfall with you, brown-eyed girl. You are my brown-eyed girl. You remember when we used to sing la la la, la la la, la dee da, sha la la la, la 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 la, la dee da, la dee da. found my way. Now that I'm all on my own, I saw you just the other day. My, you have grown. I cast my memory back there, Lord. Sometimes I'm overcome just thinking about making love in the green, green grass behind the stadium with you. Brown-eyed girl, you are my brown-eyed girl. You remember when we used to sing sha-la-la-la, la-la-la, la-di-da. We used to sing sha-la-la-la, la-la-la-la, la-di-da. We used to sing sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la, la-la-la, la-di-da, la-di-da.
All right.
Welcome back, everybody. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Chat saying Greg Cahill was great. I'm telling you, weren't they both wonderful? Greg and Alison.
What a treat.
I know.
What a treat.
I just, it really it's been a tough thing, this pandemic, but this week I've been feeling a lot of gratitude for these moments, and just for everybody that's sharing our stuff on Facebook, and friends of mine, people I don't know, just how nice it is to see these shares. Actually, on TikTok this week, this girl covered one of our songs that's never even been released. It was easy. It's only on YouTube. It's like we have it recorded. It's going to be on our next record. We've only ever played it live, and to have somebody record it on TikTok, I mean, like they had to learn it from YouTube, like. How neat is that? So I'm feeling the love.
So we have some donations to catch up with. Jack Stone donated $25. He said, "Hello from your Person County, North Carolina kinfolk.
Yo.
Loving the great music."
Thank
you so much, Jack.
Love you guys.
Thank you, Jack.
Bob K donated $50, and he said, as Noah said earlier, "I heard Greg and Special C back in '75 and regularly since. Loved Gloria's accompaniment. Wonderful night." Thank you so much, Bob.
I'll let her know, Bob. I'll let her know.
And EDS donated $150. EDS, you are amazing.
Thank you.
Thank
We love you.
Thank you so
No
much.
cowbell for EDS, we know that. So
Good stuff.
it's a delightful thing stick.
So coming up in the coming weeks, we have had the first 2 of our Tune Twist tiers funded. I think some of that happened on our last stream, but we're going to get started on that. We have coming up Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles, as well as Ventura Highway by America.
Yeah.
So if you want to check out our Tune Twist tiers, you can head to our website and check those out. Of course, the big news is our Patreon. A lot of the stuff that Katie and I are doing, we're not really sure if we're going to add that to our YouTube channel, but it'll definitely be on Patreon, and subscriptions to that start at just $1 a month. So head over to Patreon for even more crazy barefooted content. So we got time for maybe one more song. We might try something a little crazy here and see if we can make it work. Katie Blomars is gonna.
Are we gonna do it?
I reckon so. Why not? Unless you guys have any requests in the chat.
The chat. Let's just say chat.
Le
Noah.
chat. We're gonna have Katie play Big Larry and sing a song. We're gonna see if we can't sing along with her.
My mandolin is kind of taken right now, though.
Mira's totally sleeping on it with Chucky. But anyway, we're gonna try to play along with her. We hope that the sync will not be a problem.
And if it's completely out of time, just enjoy it for its avant-garde-ness, you know.
If you'll excuse me, there's a crying baby and I gotta go.
Aww.
I guess Tommy, you'll have to follow Justin
Yeah.
in the beginning.
Tommy, I'm sorry if I totally step on your toes in this, but
Oh, you're good.
I'm used to playing without mandolins and trying to do a lot of your stuff.
I'm excited to sing harmony with Katie Blomars in real time, as opposed to just the files she sends me.
What are you saying about me? I can't hear you. Oh, you can't even see me.
She said she's excited to sing with you in real time
In real life?
instead of digitally.
I kind of like that you can't see my head. It's kind of like a... What did Alex say? Like the opposite of Wilson?
Opposite of Wilson from Home Improvement.
Yeah.
Inverted. Hello. Look at there.
Wow. All right. Well, I'll talk as long as I can. We usually do this song in our real life shows. It is a Buddy Holly tune called "It Won't Matter Anymore." But I've recently been listening a lot to the Linda Ronstadt version, and so now I feel like I've kind of lost touch with whatever arrangement we've done, and I just want to sing it like her now.
Nice. We tune because we care.
All right.
Yeah, ish.
Let's try this thing.
Let's should we give Tommy the solo section?
It's like a twinning thing. It'll
So
be
like
fine.
I'll go first.
We'll play it
Yeah.
together.
It'll be a twinning thing. We do it together.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
Should do something.
He's stressed. All right. Here is "It Won't Matter Anymore," and hopefully it all works out.
If it doesn't, it won't matter anymore.
There you going, baby. Here am I. Well, you left me here so I could sit and cry. Don't you see what you have done to me? Well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Do you remember, baby, last September, how you held me tight each and every night? Well, now, baby, how you drove me crazy. Well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. There's no use in me crying. I've done everything and I'm sick of trying. I've thrown away my nights, wasted all my days over you. Well, you go your way and I'll go mine. Now and forever till the end of time, I'll find somebody new, and baby, we'll say we're through, and you won't matter anymore. I've tried, I've thrown away my nights, wasted all my days over you. Well, you go your way and I'll go mine. Now and forever till the end of time, I'll find somebody new. Maybe we'll say we're through and you won't matter anymore. No, you won't matter anymore. No, you won't matter anymore.
Hope it was in
We
time.
sure hope that worked. All right, folks. Thank you so much. We will be back in 2 weeks. Tell all your friends, guests, TBD.
But first-
Oh yes, I'm so sorry.
We have the donation train is moving. So it's the attack of the initials. First we had EDS donated $150. JJ just donated $100. He said,
my gosh.
another great show
Wow.
with fabulous guests and dancing Gloria. Thank you so
She's a
much,
hit.
JJ.
Thank you, JJ.
That's so funny.
And then JR donated $50. Thank you so much, JR.
Thank you so much, you guys. It really
You
means a lot. Thank
guys
you so much.
are amazing. Thank you so much. Thanks to everyone in the chat and Noah, Christopher, Vernon. Wow,
Well,
that's
you
all.
said
That's been,
"and," but it sounded like you said "and."
that's all that's been
So,
talking
and.
for a long time. Bonnie, Jennifer, Connerly. Thank you so much, everyone. that's
Bonnie,
watching.
Jennifer.
All right, you guys. We will see you in
Thank you so
August
much.
8th is the date. We'll be back August 8th. Tell all your friends.
August 8th
and
is the date. August 8th is the date.
it is a date. That's true. And it's
And for special, I just want to give a little shout out that for our Patreon people, if you like these live streams, Patreon subscribers at certain tiers get special live streams. And next weekend, Katie is doing one. Do you know what you're doing yet, Katie?
Yeah, actually somebody recently was like, I think you should do a tutorial video on YouTube about how to play and sing the bass at the play and sing the bass? What? Sing and play the bass at the same time. Clearly
didn't
can't
even
do it 'cause
notice.
I can't say it.
It's gonna go great.
But so I'm going to chat about that and probably play another standard. I don't know. That's as far as I got in my mind.
Whatever it is, it's
a
gonna be
work in
amazing.
progress, and it's going to be next
Yeah.
weekend on our Patreon.
It's going to be
so.
awesome, though. So you better
Right.
Sure.
sign up for Patreon
It's gonna
and
be
be
the best
there
thing.
because it's going to be the best video you've ever seen in your life.
Yes.
Confidence.
Yeah.
Say goodnight, Mira
Awesome.
and Chucky.
Good night. Good night, Mira.
Thanks, everyone. Wash your hands. Be
All
safe.
right. Good
We'll
night,
see you
everybody.
later.
Thank you. We'll see
Take
you
Good
next
night,
time.
everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.